An adult creates the secret organization he dreamed of as a child. There's irony. I know. Right. Nice timing. Since I decided to make a secret society, the next day I immediately put forth my letter of resignation and proceeded to try to snatch up all the paydays off I had accumulated by threatening my boss with a lawsuit. He accepted after I agreed to my days off being unpaid. I just don't understand a company that isn't able to accept taking your paydays off with you when you resign and will tear up your letter of resignation if you don't threaten them. It's not very Japanese, right? Thoroughly resigning was the correct decision. Anyway, I was able to wait 2 months until I retired. Let's confirm the hand I have to play with before pushing forward our exciting secret organization formation strategy. First of all, assets. My savings total to 1.2 million yen. The base is an apartment in the Tokyo suburb, 20 years old. Vehicle is a Super Cube aged 30 years, inherited from my senpai in university who received it from his older brother. Refrigerator and a microwave, TV, air conditioning, a PC, as well as a general home appliance. There are also mangas, novels, DVD, and games. My pressure-resistant steel-toed boots were damaged by a psychokinesis barrier I made, and my Balinese souvenir mask caused trouble by being too distinctive and similar to the mask worn for a lion dance, so I got rid of it. Next, friendships and connections. Well, normal. My family is my parents, my grandparents who are still alive, and no siblings. I do have cousins that could be considered siblings since we get along well, but I only see them during New Year. I went out a couple of times with my business associates and exchanged contacts with a customer of a business partner. And I have the address of some of my college and old school friends in my smartphone. These guys often invite me to join them if they go drinking, but I don't go with them very often. Rich people, or something like the son of a distinguished family, or the hero of an Asian martial arts dojo, or even, among other things, foremost elites. None of these kinds of people exist in my network. Speaking of what was the most unusual connection, when I went traveling overseas, while on training, I made the acquaintance of Bob, the wrestler. He gave me his email address, but it was weird and I couldn't understand it, so that doesn't count as a successful additional contact. That address was not normal. Continuing onward to the most important part, my personal specs. Graduated from National Salmon University with a degree in engineering, spent 2 years in the workforce until I set myself free from the life of a salaryman. 24-year-old male, height 172 centimeters, weight 65 kilograms, no health abnormalities, and I don't have any pre-existing medical conditions. My medical history does include a case of chickenpox though. The back teeth on the right are gone due to teeth decay during junior high school. Qualifications in possession include a general driver license and a step aching grade Pre-1 certification. Psychokinesis. The output is impossible to measure. According to previous calculations, I could probably lift up the Mount Everest and still have power left over. Since coming up with the idea of building up the burden on myself by burning my psychokinesis with psychokinesis, my output seems to continue rising. I don't know at what point it will stop. Perhaps it might break the earth like in a gag manga. 3 months ago, the range was such that I could reach the opposite side of the earth. There's no place on earth my powers do not reach. I will find you, even if you are hiding in the toilet. Nevertheless, even after becoming a working adult, I continue to train my psychokinesis little by little, granting it all 5 senses. I'm able to taste, smell, touch, hear, and see things from every corner of the world without leaving my room in my apartment. Combat capability. I previously calculated that I'm able to deploy a continuous, strong barrier that surrounds my body and could perfectly defend against the giant meteorite that triggered the extinctions of the dinosaurs. I can also use psychokinesis as a poison gas countermeasure by having it form a compressed air tank, then put it to good use by being able to breathe safely for a while. My barrier can also function as a thermal insulation. By training using radionuclides kept in the laboratory of the university, I'm also able to block radiation. I can block radio waves and electromagnetic waves as well. I can withstand 10 Gs by reproducing an anti-G suite with my psychokinesis and move at high speed via psychokinetic propulsion. Fighting in the dark poses no obstacle. I can secure a light source by igniting compressed air, or I can possibly use my sixth sense. Of course, I can also work in the outer space, the deep sea, or surrounded by magma. It's like I'm a superhuman. There's really nothing for me to fight. These days, I can get excited by any crisis at all. Not even the crisis you see in the movies like a meteorite crashing in the air or an alien invasion will be enough to excite me. That's on the small fry level of difficulty. It's my only thought. Well, things like healing, super self regeneration, teleporting, stopping time, manipulating the laws of cause and effect, perpetual youth, and other such fantasy manga abilities are not at all usable. So, unfortunately, I'm not absolutely invincible or omnipotent. Even cancer or AIDS usually result in death. It's good to have resolve and endure. That way, you won't lose even if you are beaten or if the whole world turns against you. Now then, using the above mentioned hand I have been dealt, I will not do what I have always wanted to do. Although it's said that lost youth will never come back, I'm not as old as an old man, but it's not a fresh age either. I'm a human who has missed the most glittering time in his life. I know that there are no super secret societies in the world, there are no invaders from other worlds, and I also know that there are no old human beings recovered from cold sleep. My romantic dreams don't exist. In the end, making a secret organization is just playing around after all. At least, for me, it is. But what should I do about members of the secret society? Should I, for example, appear wearing black clothes in front of a high school boy with too much time on his hands and suddenly taking care to go super easy on him? Attack with my psychokinesis? And should I then have him be helped by a beautiful girl that is actually a puppet that's controlled by my psychokinesis? And then have the boy be guided and influenced by the fake magical girl? And eventually have him be guided to be underneath the leader of the secret society, which is the same person who attacked him, in other words, me, that pursues superpowers for evil. As far as the involved high school student is concerned, it will be a vivid and astonishing introduction to the extraordinary, even though in reality it's a shitty self-made production. The high school student will be happy that his boredom has been broken. While it will make me jealous and wish to repeat my own past, I'll also be happy for him. Everyone wins. It's absolutely fun. If there is no connection, make it. If there is no drama, I will direct it. Oh yeah, and just try to pass judgment on me for playing with people's lives and deceiving them. If I was similarly tricked and deceived like that in my youth, I wouldn't have minded, since I will get what I wished for. I expect a considerable number of people who are stuck in the same gloominess exist. If that's not the case, then there's no reason for there being so much support for the typical, worn out story of a high school student awakening their miraculous powers. I'm still okay because I had an outlet called psychokinesis, but for someone who is unable to endure their desire for extraordinary, it will result in being irate and unable to be happy. If that could change into those who are irritated enter a secret organization and are not satisfied, it's possible that I could further contribute to society, although it's a bit forced. Good, self-justification is complete. Let me list the actual things I want to do. Be the boss of the secret society and its enemy. It's kept secret from everyone. Make a secret base at the South Pole. Prepare a mysterious enemy, like someone who comes from another world. The mysterious enemy probably aims to an unknown resource that lives in the air or something. To go along with the above, form a secret society that fights the darkness of the world. Establish brand office around the world. Mascot characters are good. It would be cool to move the government with one phone call, wouldn't it? Knowing everyone's true identity is no sure thing. The level of funds being too low is no laughing matter. Seek investors. The organization will shine with an operator, supporting the entire house from under the floor and refined mechanisms. I want to set up emergency meeting signals. I should like for there to be women in it. They don't necessarily have to be beautiful women. I just don't want a secret society full of men. Even if I say that, until a little while ago, I was scared. Why was I not able to do this? Because it's scary. But it will absolutely be fun if it can be realized. Let's do it! While eating oranges at the kotatsu and looking at memos going as far back as 3 days ago, I tried to assign an order of priority to them and devise concrete realization measures, but I noticed that it was painful for one person alone. The main objectives are making a secret organization and the enemy organization, have the members enjoy an extraordinary life, and having myself watch them and enjoy it as well. But in order to play the part of the mysterious mastermind, I need to have some form in the middle management, or there will be serious troubles. If the boss wrapped in mystery frequently appears in front of the members and does things like teaching a strategy, taking part in discussions, and joining in training, then he's completely not mysterious anymore. There's also things like purchasing equipment, inspecting and maintaining the secret organization facilities, and designing the ordering customs. It's impossible for me to do it all of it by myself. I need at least one person as an adjutant-like existence, and for them to become a cushion between the boss and the general members. However, if I tell my adjutant the truth, they may become a match pump, but there's no point in having an adjutant unless I tell them, because we have to share the work by having them participate in members' discussions while I work behind the scenes. An adjutant who knows the identity of the boss wrapped in mystery. That's cool, isn't it? So I start searching for an assistant. The conditions are someone who desires the extraordinary. Those with experience in belonging to a secret organization are welcome. Serve as a counselor who is more than capable of dealing with trouble. No particular qualifications needed. Someone who is rich, influential, and can make good connections. If possible, a pretty girl or a beautiful woman. Number 1. The conditions cannot be excluded. There is no use inviting into the extraordinary a man who lacks the ordinary and is satisfied with his present state of affairs. We will not be able to be happy with each other. Number 2. The conditions are reasonable. These may be harsh words, but no matter how much enthusiasm they have, they cannot serve as an adjutant if they are not intelligent and competent. Kindly join as a general member if you are an enthusiastic muscle brain. Number 3. The conditions are thought. Establishing a secret society requires connections and money. Using brute force via psychokinesis is also a solution, but with money, you will gain influence. Number 4. The conditions are worthy of being called extreme. Separately, this does not have to be satisfied. At any rate, there's extremely low possibility of finding a pretty girl or a beautiful woman that is also in line with the other conditions. And because this isn't a light novel where all characters that appear are bishoujos, as one would expect, I'm not especially particular about this. So as long as they satisfy number 1, 2, 3, I could even get accustomed to having a bald and fat Oji-san as a comrade. But it's nice to dream. I can speak English as it is, so my assistant can be someone who speaks English. Since I'm planning to develop secret societies all over the world, it's not bad to invite overseas talent for my adjutant. Therefore, when looking for an assistant, the search range will be limited to high-class residential areas in Japan, the UK, the US, and Canada. By using psychokinesis to sneak into their home, I can peek at their private life and determine if they are suitable for the position by watching them. Although SNS is the home of bored people, because the parameters are so big, it's difficult to look for and extract the specific SNS address of a capable person who is bored of the everyday. And an intelligence leak because something the adjutant posted on SNS is way too stupid. I'll start with the places closest to me first. I'll search by sending my psychokinesis out to the mansions and high-class residents in the metropolitan areas of Kanagawa, Tokyo, Chiba, and Saitama. I could search more efficiently if I could split my consciousness via something like parallel thinking or an alter ego. But since I don't have such skills, I'll have to investigate by thoroughly searching one by one. Since there is no law prohibiting psychokinetic trespassing, I'm still technically abiding by the law, but it's undeniable a manners violation. I'm trying not to mind it because I can make a secret society if I care about such things. Oyamashimasu. I let myself in for a minute or 1 hour. Those who have no fiction novels, manga, or DVD movies at home are out of the question. If there is anything, think about whether their hobby seems to fit from the lineup. If their lineup has things like cruel bloody fights, heartwarming isekai journals, or is weirdly uniform, then it's sayonara. If someone looks promising, I wait for them to return home and then I observe their behavior. If it seems that they are enjoying their life as it is now, I leave them alone. I don't plan to bring trouble to a happy guy. If they seem to have a bad personality, I also leave them alone. I don't want an assistant partner who will give me a stomaches. If they are possibly experiencing desires such as waiting to live in a different world, or something like wishing a girl would fall from the sky, then I further observe them. I contact them with an invitation if I think they are good fit and also fairly well off. For about 3 weeks, I spent my days observing the lives of rich people, but I wasn't able to find anyone capable. There were no interesting people who opposed reality, only those who were enjoying life and doing things such as art appreciation, eating out with friends, driving and traveling. Surprisingly, Most houses typically had manga and novels, but their lineups were normal. Though I was watching the every move, there were no signs of them trying to escape reality. Sometimes there were also rich people who were in debt or were tired of socializing, but they didn't seem to be escaping into fantasy or the supernatural. As I thought, as long as you have money, it's possible to live a fulfilling life. On the 25th day after I started exploring, I found an interesting person. It's a woman named Kaburagi Shiori, who lives in a mansion with a garden in a luxury residential area in Tokyo. Age is 23. Excluding the servant who commutes, she lives alone. She apparently works from home on her personal computer, and it seems she earns money with stocks, virtual currency, and future trading. Although that alone is unusual, that's not what is important. It's from here that it gets amazing. First, the servant called her a young lady. A young lady in the contemporary Japan. Are you serious? I thought that was a nickname of a non-real entity that was extinct until I actually hear it with my psychokinesis. They shamelessly called her a young lady. Amazing. Second, she's an undisputed beauty. I visited a lot of rich people's houses, and while I saw a lot of rich women, I didn't see someone as beautiful as Kaburagi Shiori. She is the cool type. If she was wearing a ponytail and wielding a shinai, she would really match the appearance of Yamato Nadeshiko. She would be more enough competition for both top idols and actress. Third, she's honest about receiving plastic surgery to become beautiful. Decorating her work desk are 23 photos, which are most likely photos of her taken on her birthday. Until she entered middle school, she had pizza face and her body looked like it was plugged with a tractor. But she completely changed in her third year of middle school. By the time she entered high school, she had developed a beautiful appearance and good proportions. It's obvious that she got plastic surgery, but it's also obvious that she dieted and exercised to the point of sweating blood. Also, when I observed her, this was her daily life. She got up at 6 every morning to stretch and go running, did inner muscle training, showered, did her hair, skincare, makeup, and clothes selection. Did gymnastics after lunch, used a parasol and sunscreen when going out, instructed her servant on the menu so meals contain a balanced nutrition. She seems to have nutritionist qualifications. She goes to bed at 10 and makes active efforts every day so that she absolutely doesn't fail to take care of her beauty and health. What is amazing is that she doesn't hide the amount of effort her beauty takes at all. From that stance, I should have also had ugly photos of myself grandly decorating my workroom when I was an employee. Even a man will want to conceal their past if it's ugly. She has a mentality of steel. Awesome. Fourth, clothing. Kaburagi Shiori's choice of Western style clothing has no imperfections. It resembles what they say a beautiful woman should wear. By wearing a dress in classical style for everyday clothes, she looks like someone you will only see in a painting from medieval Europe. Let me ask again, is this what she's really like? I was afraid of the possibility that she isn't from here and may be a former inhabitant of a fantasy world. So, in order to confirm her family register, I successfully snuck into the government office. She was a proper Japanese person. There's no way she's a former fantasy world inhabitant. Also, she wears kimono and geta when she goes out during holidays. Wow, even more amazing than the fact that she normally dresses stylish is her terrifically good taste and courage. Incidentally, when running in the morning, she wears a jersey in the usual way. Fifth, grit, ambition, and high intelligence. She works on her personal computer for 3 to 5 hours every day. The rest of the time, excluding beauty, is devoted to reading. 40% of that reading is in advanced specialized books. She also normally reads Western books, and it seems she pays a lot of money for contract to freely read foreign articles. She might go see Japanese drama on Saturdays, or she might participate in private showing of the latest Hollywood movie in Sundays. She also attends lectures at Tokyo University. 6. Her delusional tuning notes go about and beyond and are not something to be trifled with. Even though she is 23 years old, Kaburagi Shiori still writes delusional notes. However, the content is so technical that they have become academic notes, such things as hypothesis on the route of infection in the case of a zombie apocalypse, or things like conjecture on a method of identifying the source of infection. Even things like the probability of surviving in the case of being summoned to a different world, or even a study on the effects of changed laws of physics on the body. time travel and cold sleep, awakening esp. There's even also discussions on the existence of ancient civilizations. All of this suggests that she has a wealth of knowledge in a wide variety of topics, advanced logical thinking skills, and a pleasant disappointment as well. I'm speechless. Classics only fill one third of the study, while there are two rooms for light novels and fantasy novels. Her manga selections indicate her personal preference. Based on the books she recently purchased, she is currently into villainesses. That's the end of 6 reasons why Kaburagi Shiori is awesome. Only in the first day of observation did I get excited by things like peeking on and seeing an intellectual beauty's private life. But now that I have finished my 1 week stakeout, only the feeling of respect remains. Kaburagi-san is incredible. I mean, as far as an assistant, but if she wants to be the boss, then that's fine too. I can become the assistant. I decided to send her an invitation. I never thought that there was such a great talent. She's almost a story dweller. I plan to reveal the whole scheme to Kauragi-san, including my psychokinesis. But first, I want to try to surprise her a bit. While she's working, I use psychokinesis to make her fountain pen stand up and write a note on her memo pad. The unexpected event causes her to freeze with her eyes wide open. I wrote on the memo pad, "Please, excuse this sudden use of psychokinesis. I am Sago Kinemitsu. As you can see, I have superpowers." Right now, I wanted to contact Kaburagi-san to see if she desires to form a superpower secret organization with me. If you are interested in this, please say so aloud. If you are, I will write my contact information on this paper. Having read the note, Kaburagi-san thought for a while. Then, gently, disassembled the fountain pen. After disassembling it quickly and accurately with professional skill level, she looked around, then assembled it again while looking uneasy. She next checked the locks on the windows, and after that, she took out a step ladder in order to investigate the ceiling. Each time she finished an investigation, her cheeks flushed, and then she starts muttering, "No way. Really?" I remember that I also behave like this. It's the same as when I awakened my psychokinesis. I also doubted as to whether a supernatural phenomenon had occurred. I had to make sure it wasn't a trick or Mother Nature pulling a prank. She's been careful not to jump to the conclusion that it's a supernatural phenomenon. But she also isn't hiding her curiosity or expectations. That's good. Before long, she concluded. Then Kaburigi-san nervously cleared her throat and said while facing the memo, "I'm interested in speaking with Sago-san. Please inform me of your contact information." Alright, I wasn't 99% sure she wouldn't refuse, but it's a relief to hear her say it out loud. I'd likely write a new memo with my Skype address on it. Kaburigi-san looked at it and made a complicated expression. "I will be calling your personal account, wouldn't I?" Sorry for suddenly ruining the serious atmosphere. I'm sure secret organizations don't issue invitations via Skype. Please forgive me. I have no money, so I'm not able to set up call forwarding. I'm able to throw a letter into a window at the speed of Mach 10. But I probably shouldn't do things like that, since the shockwave would absolutely cause a huge accident. However, Kaburagi-san seemed to immediately regroup. She put her hand on her mouth and smiled a beautiful smile. "This may prove to be fun." Really? Phew! If you enjoyed this video, thank you very much.